Well, a good evening to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome back to another live pro wrestling talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. It is Thursday night, April 2nd of 2026. Hope everybody's been doing well. The weekend is almost here. Good Friday is almost here. It's been a pretty solid week for the most part. Still grinding away at work and, still working out, doing what I do best, by the grace of God. But yeah, hope everybody's week has been good. Continue to push forward. The weekend's almost here. You're doing great. You're doing a great job. Good to be back on here. So, got quite a lot to talk about for this episode. Gonna talk some Saki Kashima as she took part in a press conference in regards to her retirement and pretty much what the rest of her retirement road is going to look like. We're going to talk about that. Going to go over NXT Stand and Deliver 2026. I'm going to preview that. I'm going to give a full preview of that now that we have the full card for that. I'm also going to preview two of the shows I will be attending in Las Vegas. One being Dragon Gate USA's The Gate of Sin City. We'll be attending that show. The full card for that is out. I'm also gonna do a mini preview of the TJPW Vancouver shows. I'm gonna at least talk about the cards for both of those shows, and then I'm gonna give a full preview of TJPW Live in Las Vegas since I'll be attending that show. So yeah, I got quite a lot to talk about. And to start off, we're going to talk Saki Kashima with her retirement road. Before we do that, let me equip myself properly. There we go. Had to bust this out for my Saki Kashima talk. Still have the Kmot little ribbon that she threw in my face back in the Philadelphia show, the Stardom American Dream and Philly show, after she won the High Speed Championship for a second time. As she was coming through, she threw this in my face and then gave me a high five. So, this was a keeper. But, couple of things with Saki Kashima. So, the main thing that she announced that come All-Star Grand Queendom, which is on April 26th, she will not have a match at All-Star Grand Queendom. But instead, she will have a retirement ceremony. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, not sure what to expect. For all I know, it could be a quick ceremony. I mean, after all, Saki Kashima is known for saying what she's got to say and then leaving. That's what she's known for. That's what she's been doing. So, it could be one of those things that she does at her retirement ceremony. Just, maybe a short ceremony, in and out. 10 bell salute, bye. But, hopefully that won't be the case. But, we'll see how it goes. Super Trebo, welcome to the stream. Says, hi, Jason. How's it going? Did you see LA Knight and IShowSpeed the streamer's house and attack him? Yes. LOL. Why LA Knight in such a silly storylines? They must not take him serious. Bro, I keep telling you, he's not a main eventer. He's not a main eventer. I don't know, like, I keep telling you that. He's not a main eventer. I mean, I don't know why you're surprised, Super Trevo. Why are you surprised? He's not a main eventer. I mean, they got him in the storyline because, I mean, you know, IShowSpeed hit him with the brass knucks. So, I mean, there was going to be an expectation for there to be some sort of, you know, follow-up to that. But it's like I keep telling you, Super Trevo, he's not a main eventer. I mean, I keep telling you that, you know, you keep seeing for yourself. I don't know why you're surprised. I don't know why you're surprised. Anyways, Saki Kashima. So, interesting thing with Saki Kashima is, so we also know she's gonna have a fan event, one last fan event. And if I remember correctly, let me pull that up. Let me pull that up right quick. Her fan event will be on April 19th. So let's actually go over the schedule in order. So this also includes, you know, the fan event and whatnot. But this is Saki Kashima's remaining schedule. Okay? So, actually, let me pull. Bear with me for 1 second. I want to make sure I have everything pulled up. I don't want to miss anything. Just bear with me for 1 second. Okay. Okay. So, okay, for Saki Kashima's retirement road schedule. So, April 4th will be her next match, which will be in Osaka. She will go one-on-one with her We Love Tokyo Sports tag team partner, Fukiken Death. So she'll go one-on-one with Fukiken Death. Of course, it wasn't that long ago that they teamed up and picked up a victory at Stardom New Blood 30. But now they're going to be going one-on-one on April 4th. Gus, welcome to the stream. What's up, Jason? It's too bad she's not coming to Vegas. Yeah, it is a bummer. Because, you know, I never really got to meet her. But, you know, this is the only thing I have that reminds me of her. Just, I got to interact with her, but I didn't get to do, like, a meet and greet with her. So that's my only regret. But, hey, I have a souvenir. So, hey, I'm just as happy. Says, too bad she's not coming to Vegas. You can bet your bottom dollar if she did come to Vegas, the Saki and thank you Saki chants will be raining down. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean after all, it was in the US where she won her second high-speed championship. You know, that was back in Philly at the 2300 arena. So, you know, I definitely I'm sure that the US has a special place in her heart. And even at that show, she got a great reception, especially after she won the high-speed title. So, Saki Kashima's definitely loved everywhere. So, I was definitely hoping she would have made the trip to America one last time, but unfortunately not. Let's see. Oh, so April 4th, Saki Kashima versus Fukiken Death. Okay. And then April 5th. So April 5th in Hamamatsu, Saki Kashima is going to team up with her God's Eye stablemates, Shuri, Hina, and Rana Yagami. And they're going to take on Starlight Kid, Hazuki, Waka Tsukiyama, and Saya Ida. So, some 8-woman tag action there. Excuse me. So, that's April 5th in Hamamatsu. And then April 8th at Korakuen Hall, she is going to, I guess, alongside Shuri and a possible monster, she's going to run the God's Eye Gauntlet. So it will be Saki Kashima and Shuri and possibly a monster taking on Ami Sourei, Hina, Lady C, Tomoka Inaba, Rana Yagami, Kyoka Kotatsu. So kind of like a little God's Eye Gauntlet. Sort of. Kind of. That's at Korakuen Hall on April 8th. And then, let's see, on April 11th, they'll be back at Korakuen Hall. And, oh, duh. Let me show the graphic. Let me actually show the graphic. So that's for the God's Eye Gauntlet here. Okay, and then, let's see. Make sure I have them. Okay, so for April 11th at Korakuen Hall, very interesting matchup here. Saki Kashima will team up with Fukuoka Double Crazy and Hazuki and Koguma, and they will take on the trio of Mei Sara, Unagi Sayaka, and Maika. That's kind of an interesting one there. That's a very interesting one. This must have been by request from Saki Kashima, because yeah, that's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one. But yeah, trios action there, but hey, she'll be teaming up with Fukuoka Double Crazy, so that should be fun. Okay. And then so that's April 11th at Korakuen Hall. And then, as I mentioned before, April 19th is Saki Kashima's final fan event, which is called Super Hot Gathering of Otaku Final, which will take place at the Nakano Central Park Conference. But yeah, this is Saki Kashima's last fan event ever. So for those that are in Japan, that are traveling to Japan or are in Japan, that are planning on checking that out, definitely be sure you get your tickets. But yeah, there's supposed to be like a special handover event, and pretty much you get a chance to hand over, so you can bring gifts. You can apparently bring gifts for Saki Kashima. So that's pretty cool. You can hand over letters and gifts to Saki Kashima. So that's pretty cool. So for those that so only letters or pre-made items packaging that does not allow the contents to be seen will be accepted as gifts. The only thing you can't bring: food, stuffed animals, items that are too large to fit in one hand, expensive brand name items, dangerous items, other items that violate public order and morals. Well, you got to be very, very specific and be careful what you bring to Saki Kashima. And then she's going to do an autograph session. So that's cool. And she'll personalize the autographs as well. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, those are pretty much the details of the final Saki Kashima fan event. So that's April 19th. And then her very last match of her career, will be on April 23rd at Korakuen Hall. For one last time, Saki Kashima will team up with Shuri to take on Momo Watanabe and Azumi, once together known as Momoaz. That's right. So Momo Watanabe will return for this final match in Saki Kashima's pro wrestling career. Now, I know some may be a little disappointed because I know there have been a lot of discussion. You know, I know it was talked about on String Six Splash, Jason's live stream featuring Meerkat. The idea of potentially Lady C being Saki Kashima's final opponent, but looks like that won't be the case. I mean, it's a bummer, but at the same time, I kind of figured, a big part of me kind of figured that there was a possibility that Saki Kashima's final match wasn't going to be a singles match. You know what I mean? So, I can't say that I'm too shocked, if that makes any sense. Clawao948, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hope I said that name correct. Super Trevo says, you think we will see a big surprise return at Mania for main events, Jason? A WWE star return? Maybe. To be honest with you, I'm not really that hyped for WrestleMania. I'm not that hyped. I mean, I'm sure it'll be enjoyable. I'll eventually see it, but like I said, I'm going to be in Vegas attending a bunch of other pro wrestling shows, not WrestleMania. So it's like, I'm not really hyped about it, but could there be a surprise return? Maybe. It's WrestleMania. Anything can happen. So, maybe. Gus says, unless Lady C will be the last person to face Saki Kashima in the God's Eye Gauntlet. Well, the thing is, I mean, but she's teamed with Shuri, so it's like, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. But I mean, I'm sure they'll make it work, but it's not going to be the same. So, that's the only thing. But, you know, overall, with this, what's remaining, I'm sure it's going to be very entertaining, and I'm sure, you know, Saki Kashima is going to make it count. And then, All-Star Grand Queendom is the official retirement ceremony. Now, I don't know. Like I said, this could be a quick retirement ceremony. They could save it for the end. I mean, I don't know if they'd be willing to do the retirement ceremony after the main event. But the only thing that I'm hoping for, I'm really hoping, and maybe I can check, you know, the upcoming schedule. I would love for Mayu Iwatani to show up for Saki Kashima's retirement ceremony. I think it would mean a lot. I think it would mean a whole lot to see Mayu Iwatani show up for Saki Kashima's retirement. I think that'd be so cool. I mean, I don't know if Marigold has anything scheduled. Well, actually, let's see. Let's actually see. Excuse me. So sorry. Let's see. Well, according to Mari Gold's events, excuse me. So sorry. So according to Mari Gold's event website, they don't have anything scheduled for April 26th. They got a show at Corcoran Hall on April 25th. So that's the day before All-Star Grand Queendom. So honestly, I'm hoping Mayu Iwatani shows up for Saki Kashima's retirement ceremony. I think that'd be really cool. Heck, it'd be cool if Arisa Hoshiki showed up as well. That'd be awesome. I think all the type of familiar faces for Saki Kashima should show up. It would be cool. It would be really cool. I mean, shoot. You want to really get interesting with it, get Natsuki Tayo and At Yasukawa. I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, they're the ones that first won the Artists of Stardom Trios titles with Saki Kashima. Gus says, is Mayu Saki's senpai? I mean, Saki is older than Mayu, but you also got to remember the one time that Saki Kashima was a Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Champion was with Mayu. That's the only time that she's been a Goddess of Stardom Tag Champ. So her and Mayu go back a long time. They have a lot of history. You know, after all, she used to be in Stars. Of course, she did eventually turn on Mayu, but still, they've had a lot of history together. And, you know, that's the only time that Kashima has won that tag title was with Mayu. So, you know, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be really cool to see. But, you know, it doesn't look like it's a conflicting schedule for Mari Gold, so I think they could do it. I think they could do it. But we shall see. But yes, that is Saki Kashima's retirement road for this month. Like I said, her final match will be on April 23rd. And then her retirement ceremony will be on April 26th at All-Star Grand Queendom. So, it's April 2nd now. Everybody, be sure you enjoy what remaining time Saki Kashima has left in the ring. Embrace it and enjoy it. Ricardo, welcome to the stream. How's it going tonight? It's going good. Currently watching some TNA wrestling after just finishing watching AEW Collision. That's right, they had Collision on at a special time today. Thought that was pretty interesting. I guess it's because of March Madness, I assume. But Gus says, was Saki always a comedy wrestler, or was it more in the recent years? More in the recent years. You know, back when she was in Stars, she was actually a pretty decent wrestler. And even in the earlier days in Oedo Tai. Like, don't be fooled. Saki Kashima is actually a pretty solid wrestler. It's just her comedy gimmick has really just won people over more because she does it so well. And like I said, I used to be annoyed by it because you got to remember, I've kept up with Saki Kashima pretty much like for the longest time. Because I remember around the time that she was Goddess of Stardom Tag Champion with Mayu. So, in all honesty, it used to bother me because, like, I knew how good she was. And when she became more of a comedy character, it was annoying. It was really annoying because it's like, oh my God, you're better than this. But I will give her credit. She has played the role really well. And the fans love it. She's entertaining. So you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Blood Money, welcome to the stream. Yo, Blitz, did you watch New Japan Final Road to Sakura Genesis with 2 junior titles? I did not. Ruckus, welcome to the stream. Yup. Kashima went to war at times. Exactly. Not to mention, Saki Kashima made history. She's, one of the first Artists of Stardom champions in company history. And that's the thing that a lot of people may not know. Like, Saki Kashima's been wrestling for 14 years. I think now, about to be 15 years. But yeah, like, Saki Kashima's a longtime veteran. And, because you got to remember, she debuted in 2011, and she came up through the second season of Stardom Grow Up Stars. She came in through the second season of that. So like I said, Saki Kashima, I felt, has always been a pretty solid wrestler. I mean, I understand that she was, kind of small and kind of, skinny stature and whatnot. But, it's just like, the times where she's tried to do a kip up and have failed. Don't be fooled. Saki has done that kip up before. I've seen her do that kip up before. So, yeah. Saki Kashima is pretty dang on good in the ring. Blood Money says, Blitz, which Saki Kashima version do you like the most? Stars, Oedo Tai, or God's Eye? That's tough. I mean, that's tough. That's really, really tough. I mean, I like all of her. She ended up fitting very well in Stars, Oedo Tai, and heck, even in God's Eye, despite being a coward character in God's Eye. Alberto Rex, Al, welcome to the stream. Hey Blitz, how you doing this evening? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Kashima will be remembered as the master of low speed. Exactly, the master of low speed. But yeah, I like all of Saki Kashima. I've learned to embrace her coward character. Because like I said, a lot of funny moments. And, but at the same time, she has one of the greatest flash pins in the history of professional wrestling with the Kishi Kaisei. And, a variety of different ring gear. And like I said, multiple championships. She has won a singles, trios, and tag title. in her career. I'd say she's had a pretty solid career, even accolade-wise. You know? Not to mention, you know, she's gotten to team up with a variety of talent. I mean, at Yasukawa, Natsuki Tayo, B. Priestley, Tam, Mayu. I mean, Shuri. Like, not to mention, she was part of the best unit in 2021 with Oedo Tai. And in 2022, won the 5-star Grand Prix Outstanding Performance Award. So, I mean, like I said, Saki Kashima has done very well. I understand, you know, health-wise, she's dealt with a lot of injuries, sicknesses here and there, but you gotta admit, she's had a great career. She's had a great career. Not to mention, outside of pro wrestling, she's what is it? Social worker. So I mean, she has, you know, social worker, caregiver. She has a lot of caregiving experience. Like, that says a lot. That says a lot. Blood Money says Saki Kashima is the Toru Yano of Stardom. I'm going to have to disagree because I don't remember Toru Yano ever running away from folks. He's not one to run away from folks. So I'm going to have to disagree on that comparison. Gus says, I know she's in the medical field now. I could see her being like Patch Adams. Yeah. I mean, she seems to be very intelligent, very bright, and whatnot. So, hey. That says a lot. Blood Money says, Saki Kashima winning high-speed title is the farthest she could go. White or red belt, no chance at all. I mean, is that a bad thing? I mean, that's not a bad thing. Ruca says, I have a feeling Kashima isn't really done yet. Really? Really? Well, since you mention it, what do you think? What do you think she ends up doing if you don't think she's done? Albert says, Yano would just mess with you and give you headaches. Yep, exactly. 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 I agree. I would definitely agree. But yeah, I'm very curious as to what Ruckus has to say, because, he doesn't think she's done. Doesn't think she's really done. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Dean Malenko is one of the sharpest technicians, yet never became world champ. That is a good point. That is a good point. There is a reason why he was the man of 1,000 holds. And not to mention was really good considering his size, and he was mainly a cruiserweight. Ruckus said, looks at my Sakurai. What? Saki Kashima in the flower fields? Really? Well, I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but really? Well, I don't know. How do you know what? Let's talk about it. How would y'all feel about Saki Kashima in the flower fields over at Marigold? What do y'all think about that? I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Because, I mean, at the same time, Saki Kashima ain't that old. She's only 32 years old. She's not old. So, I mean, you know? And I guess it would kind of add another comedy character to the Marigold roster. And another veteran to the Marigold roster. Ruca says, possibly, but a freelance run where she is taken more seriously. Ooh. A freelance run. Well, I guess in that sense, it would give her the opportunity to, you know, take the type of dates at her own pace, and, you know, she'd be able to limit to, you know, I guess how much she would want to do. So, I mean, I guess there's that. Freelance Saki Kashima would be pretty interesting. I ain't gonna lie. That would be pretty interesting. Al says, Marigold needs more veterans and still some more rookies to develop its future, in my opinion. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. Yeah. I mean, little by little, I mean, I know they just added Lady AI, so we'll have to see what more they do. Gus says, do you think she has a mind for the business like Sari? That's a good question. I mean, my thing is with her being, you know, a caretaker, caregiver, you know, with her background, I mean, it just, it's hard to say. I mean, she doesn't seem like the type of person that I think would train anybody, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think if she wanted to stay in the business some way, somehow, I think that she would be able to. Just in what capacity, I'm not sure. But that's a good question. That's a really good question. Al says, Blitz, like how All Japan Pro Wrestling has its 4 pillars of heaven, who would you believe is the equivalent of that for the Marigold roster? Ooh. Oof. Well, okay. Wow, that's a really tough question. Four pillars of Marigold. So, see, what makes this in all honesty, oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Okay. Gus says, or like book a show. Oh, I could definitely see Saki Kashima do something like that. Heck yeah, absolutely. Okay, Al. So, in all honesty, my 4 pillars of Marigold, would be Miku Ano, Utami Hayashishita, Victoria Yuzuki, Mai Sakurai. I think those will be my 4. In all honesty, I think those will be my 4. I can't put Mayu as 1 because she is not a Marigold original. That's kind of like a requirement for me. It's hard for me to put Mayu as 1 because she's not a Marigold original. All 4 that I've named are Marigold originals. So I kind of give that as my 4. Those would be my 4. Like my true 4 pillars of Marigold: Utami Hayashishita, Miku Ano, Victoria Yuzuki, Mai Sakurai. Those would be my 4. Rakus says Julia, Utami, Miku, and Mayu. Really? Julia? Really? That's interesting. Well, I mean, I guess she was. Yeah, she was a Marigold original, even though she wasn't there. She wasn't there long. You really could kind of go with a number of folks. But yeah, I would say those are my 4. Miku, Yuzuki, Utami, Mai. But that's a good question. That's a really good question. Shoot. That's a really good question. Okay, let's see. What else was I thinking? Dang, I just totally lost my train of thought. Okay. I know what I was thinking. Alright, so Saki Kashima. Enjoy her while you can. Ladies and gentlemen. April is here. Not a whole lot of dates for her left. But hopefully she make it count. And we all enjoy. Okay. Let's get into some previews. So, okay. Oh, Al's got his 4. Okay, so Al says Victoria Yuzuki, Utami Hayashishita, Miku Ano. Ooh, Sari Yamaoka. Really? Sari Yamaoka. You know what? That's a fair argument. With the impact Sari has made, that's actually a fair argument. That's a fair argument. You know what? I don't hate that. I don't hate that 4. I don't hate that lineup at all. That is not a bad lineup at all. Yeah, I could work with that. I could definitely work with that. Yeah. I could work with that. If anybody else wants to give their 4, definitely post them. I'll read them off. Nene's final student disciple. Yeah, Sari Yamaoka. Passion. Let's see. But yeah, I like that 4. That's a good 4. Okay. Okay. Previews. So, we got NXT Stand and Deliver 2026 coming up. Not WrestleMania weekend, but this weekend. I know that's a surprise to many, but yeah, NXT Stand and Deliver this year is not held on WrestleMania weekend. It's kind of weird. I know. I know. But it will be held this Saturday, April 4th, at the Factory at the District in St. Louis, Missouri. We have 7 total matches, and they have one match that is a countdown to Stand and Deliver, so one pre-show match. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the preview for NXT Stand and Deliver St. Louis. Okay, pre-show match. Okay, we have. So it is a 10-person tag match. You know, there's a mix here. So you have the team of, on the left side, you have the team of Hank and Tank. You know, that's Hank Walker, Tank Ledger. You have in the middle Eli Knight, who I believe now is known as EK Prosper. So I may have to update that later. But yeah, EK Prosper, which is kind of a weird name. Shiloh Hill, and newly crowned NXT Women's Speed Champion, Wren Sinclair. And they will take on the team of Birthright, made up of Lexis King, Uriah Connors, Charlie Dempsey, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and the current TNA Knockouts champion, Arianna Grace. Well, can't say I'm really a fan of this Birthright stable. I'm not too crazy of a fan of it. I mean, I hope the first team wins, but something tells me probably Birthright's going to win. But we'll see. I don't expect it to be too long of a match, but being that it's, you know, the part of the countdown, which starts at 6 and then the main card starts at 7, they may give it a decent amount of time to work with. It's possible. But I'm gonna go with the face team to win. I mean, I'll be cheering. Correction. I'll be cheering for the face team, but something tells me that the heels, that Birthright, are gonna end up winning. So that's my guess there. Okay. Now let's go to the main card. All right. Check this match out. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this one, and it's finally going to happen this Saturday. So Ruca will go one-on-one with her former best friend, Zaria. Oh, shoot. Al says it got the baby faces with Wren Sinclair scoring the fall. Oh, snap. Okay. Ooh, I can dig that. Okay. Right on. So, Ruca, Zaria, one-on-one. I'm kind of at a crossroad with this one because I could kind of see this going either way. But to be honest, I am actually leaning towards Zaria picking up the win. Because, I mean, I see it like this. I mean, Ruca has pretty much done a lot on NXT. I mean, at this point, Ruca's ready for main roster, if you ask me. If you ask me, she's ready for main roster. So, I could see the idea of Zaria winning and kind of writing off Ruca. And that could be how she pops up and debuts on the main roster and, stays on the main roster. So, you know what? I'm going to say Zaria for the win. But it should be a great match. Should be a really great match. Al's going with Zaria as well. Yeah, I'm in agreement. Yep, I am in agreement. Blood Money agrees as well. Zaria would make sense if she wins. Ruca needs to be promoted to the main roster after Mania. Yeah. I can agree with that. I can dig that. All right. Ready for some championship matches, y'all? Let's get into some title matches. This next one, I'm not sure how to feel about this one, but it's for the tag titles. Alrighty. We have the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champs, the Vanity Project, made up of Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes, will defend the titles against Los Americanos, Bravo Americano, and Rayo Americano. I don't even know if I said that right. I'm not really that hyped for this match, to be honest with you. But I'm going to say the Vanity Project retains. They haven't really had these titles that long. They just kind of just won them recently. So I'm going to say the Vanity Project. Al says, I'm of a different opinion. Zaria wins, but Soul stays on NXT one more year to build up the roster. Oh, so you think she'll stay for one more year. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Blood Money says Vanity Project retains. Yeah, I'm in agreement. Al is going with Los Americanos. Okay. New tag champs. Okay. Right on. Alrighty. Alright, let's go back to the ladies, shall we? Back to the ladies. Here we go. Alrighty, this is for the NXT Women's North American Championship. We have the champion, even though the title is still in the hands of Blake Monroe. The champion, Tatum Paxley, will officially defend the title against the Glamour Blake Monroe. To be honest, I definitely think Tatum Paxley retains. I know Blake Monroe's kind of been tormenting her, stole her titles, been holding on to her title, which their last altercation made no sense to me. Like, Tatum defended herself, even hit like a 3-move combo on Blake, but yet she still escapes with the title. Like, that made no sense to me whatsoever. But I just chalk it up as Tatum's going to get her full revenge at Stand and Deliver. She's going to retain, and she'll have the belt back in her possession. So, that's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Blood Money says, Tatum Paxley retains. Blake needs to challenge NXT Women's Championship after that. I don't know about that. I mean, that's not really a concept that's... I mean, why would she challenge for a title after losing said title match? And just challenge for a bigger title? Like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. She needs to earn. She needs to earn that title shot. Logan James. I know that's you. Mr. Japanese Women's Wrestling Movement. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Miyu Yamashita and Arisendo versus Sari and Takumi Iroha is straight up tag team match of the year. That's bold. I'm hoping to Marigold's second anniversary of Sari and Takumi Iroha versus Io Sky Mayu Iwatani. Oh, Spark Rush versus Thunder Rock? Would be nice. Al is going for Blake Monroe to win and get the title. Oh, shoot. Okay. But by shenanigans. I see. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's go to the next match. This ought to be really interesting here. Check out this next match. So we go from women's North American to men's. This is for the NXT North American Championship. As the champion, Myles Borne will defend against the former North American champion himself, Mr. Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano. Ooh-wee! This is quite a big challenge for Mr. Myles Borne. Oh, shoot. I mean, I know Johnny Gargano's kind of been, playing dead the whole time. But, I mean, hey. He's back in NXT. And big opportunity for Johnny Gargano. So he has the opportunity to become a four-time NXT North American champion. That's right. I just, personally, Myles Borne has been on the up and coming. He just won the title, successfully defended it against Ethan Page. Honestly, and of course, Myles is a North Carolinian, just like me, so I'm gonna be biased. In all honesty, I think Myles should get the rub and defeat one of the best to have ever held the North American Championship, who held it 3 times. I'm gonna go Myles Borne. I think this will be a phenomenal match. But yeah, I'm going to go Myles Borne to retain. Looks like Blood Money and Albert are in agreement. Enigma, welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. But yeah, Myles Borne for the win. I agree. But hey, could be a candidate for match of the night. I'm just saying. Okay. Let's go to the next match. Got two more. Here we go. All right, one more time back to the ladies. As decided last minute, which not really shocked, we have a triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship. As the champion, Jacy Jayne defends against both Kendal Gray and Lola Vice. You know, the interesting thing about this, like, when you really look back at it, when you really look back at the footage, Lola should have won. Because when you think about it, Kendal Gray did the Northern Light suplex, and as the ref was counting one, and then counted two, right after the ref's hand hit and he counted two, Kendal was tapping. So right then and there, that should have been the end of the match. And when you really think about it, it should have been awarded to Lola Vice. Based on that footage alone. Based on that footage. Because she tapped out before the referee's hand hit 3. So realistically, Lola Vice should be getting this opportunity. But, you know, they had to play it up. Had to make it extra dramatic. So, here we are. Now it's a triple threat match. And to be honest, I honestly do not see Jacy Jayne walking away still champion. Especially when you got both Lola and Kendal Gray in there. To be honest with you, I think it's time. I think it's time that Lola finally holds this championship. So I'm going to say Lola Vice becomes new NXT Women's Champion. It's time. It's time. She's had way more opportunities. I think it's time she finally cashes in. Lola Vice for NXT Women's Champion. Al is going for Kendal Gray wins since she was endorsed by Cena. Oh yeah, that is true. And of course, Kendal Gray, former Women's Evolve Champion, of course she relinquished the belt after her final defense to move up to NXT full time. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Kendal Gray won. I mean, honestly, I'm not really a fan of Jacy Jayne as NXT Women's Champion, but, you know, here we are. But I'm picking Lola Vice. I'm picking Lola Vice to finally become NXT Women's Champ. Okay. And then, of course, the main event, or what I assume will be the main event, a fatal four-way for the NXT Championship. As the champion, Joe Hendry defends against Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, and Tony D'Angelo. Let's see. Oh, Blood Money says, I would say Kendal Gray wins the NXT Women's Championship. I could see Lola Vice move up to the main roster after Mania. The whole issue with that, you have to also remember, Kendal Gray just got to NXT. She just got there. So, something to keep in mind. I'm not saying that I'm against Kendal Gray winning it, but I think Lola deserves it more. Because Kendal Gray just got there. She just got there. So, this one's tough. This one's really tough. So, number one, I don't think Ricky Saints will win. I would hate to see Ethan Page win. So, honestly, it's probably going to come down to Tony D'Angelo and Joe Hendry. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm gonna play it safe and say Joe Hendry retains, but I could see Tony D'Angelo pulling off the win and becoming new champ, especially with this new look, new gimmick, Tony D'Angelo. But I definitely don't think Ricky Saints wins, nor Ethan Page. So I'm going to play it safe and say Joe Hendry retains some way, somehow. Al is going Tony D'Angelo. Blood Money is going Joe Hendry. Okay. Yeah, I'm a go Joe Hendry as well. But I have to say, overall, it's a pretty solid card. NXT Stand and Deliver 2026, despite not being on WrestleMania weekend. It's a nice card. It's a nice card. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, man. Okay. So, and like I said, that is Saturday the 4th. So, definitely check that out. And don't forget, we also have Sakura Genesis 2026 this Saturday as well. So, got two big events to look forward to. Now, it's time to jump back into some more Las Vegas talk, because some more shows that I plan on going to have finalized cards. So, I'm very excited for this next preview. Dragon Gate USA, the Gate of Sin City. So excited that Dragon Gate USA is coming back to the States. Dragon Gate USA is something that I fell in love with many years ago. I mean, back in the days where Gabe, oh my goodness, I can't say his name. Gabe Spolsky, was running the Book It Cam. I miss those days. I miss those days when we had Genki Horiguchi, we had Shingo Takagi, Davey Richards, Ricochet, Pac. We had everybody. Masato Yoshino, Naruki Doi. Man, those were the good days. Those were the really good days. Jon Moxley, Sami Callihan, Art Cannon. Man, Dragon Gate USA. Those were some awesome, awesome days. I remember Mike Quackenbush and the Ants, the Colony. The Colony. Yeah. So much Ronin with Chuck Taylor and Rich Swann and Johnny Gargano. Man, Dragon Gate USA, those are some good times. Really, really good times. But they are back, Las Vegas, for the Gate of Sin City, which will take place on Wednesday, April 15th, at the Horseshoe, Las Vegas, which I'll be staying there. And they're going to be doing a special VIP meet and greet at 7 p.m. Doors open at 7:30, and then bell time is at 8. I'm one of those VIP holders, so I will definitely be taking part in the VIP meet and greet, so looking forward to that. But we got 6 matches on the card, so let's go ahead and let's do the official preview. Okay, let's get started. First up, got ourselves a three-way match. We have Willie Mack versus El Sakui versus Kai. Now, I know I definitely remember seeing Willie Mack and El Sakui last year. El Sakui, that's a big dude, but he can fly. Don't be fooled. That dude can fly. But you know what? I'm gonna be rooting for Willie Mack. Yeah, I'm gonna be rooting for Willie Mack. Willie Mack, my pick to win. But yeah, good to see him back in a Dragon Gate ring. But yeah, he competed in Dragon Gate USA last year in Vegas, so thought that was really cool. But yeah, should be good. Should be really good. All right. Let's go to the next match, tag team match. All right, we got the team of Reese Maddox and Channing Decker taking on the team of Ho Ho Lun and La Estrella. It's been a while since I've seen La Estrella. But I do remember him. Reese Maddox, he competed in last year's Dragon Gate show. Same as Ho Ho Lun. I believe Reese Maddox went one-on-one with Ho Ho Lun, if I remember correctly. But I am going to say Ho Ho Lun and La Estrella pick up the victory. But this should be a good match. Should be a good tag match. But yeah, should be good, really good. All right. Let's go to the next match. 6-man action. A special This Is Dragon Gate 6-man tag team match. Oh, this ought to be a lot of fun. We got the team of Dragon Kid, one of my favorites out of Dragon Gate. KZ time! And Yuki Yoshioka will take on the trio of Madoka Kikuta, Ishin, and Yoshiki Kato. I mean, come on, this is an easy pick for me. Gotta go with Dragon Kid, Yuki Yoshioka, and KZ time to pick up the win. Yeah. Should be really good. Should be really good. John Elite, welcome to the stream. Tatum. Oh, these are your picks? Okay. So Tatum Paxley, Zaria, Kendal. Ooh. Joe Hendry, Vanity Project, Myles, your picks for Stand and Deliver. Gotcha. Oh, so you're thinking hold on. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, so you only have one title change, eh? Okay. Interesting. Only one title change. Misfit says, I had no idea you were live. You didn't get the notifications? John Lee says, not digging Johnny's planking gimmick. Especially when he did little offense during the gauntlet match on NXT weeks ago. I mean, yeah, but I do think we're going to get a legit great match at Stand and Deliver, though. I do think we're going to get that. I'm confident Johnny Wrestling is going to show up and give Myles Borne a legit match at Stand and Deliver. I think he's going to show up. Okay, but yes, Dragon Kid, KZ, Yuki Yoshioka are my pick to win. Let's go to this next match. All right, we got a three-way tag team match. We have team number one. We got the Busta and the Brain. That's Alec Price and Jordan Oliver versus Love and Peace, made up of Ben K and Hyo from Dragon Gate, versus the Panther Brothers, made up of Fight Panther Jr. and Arrow Panther. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. Because I remember the Panther Brothers, they competed at the Dragon Gate Pro Wrestling Revolution show last year, which was a phenomenal show. Oh man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. But you know what? I'm gonna go with the Busta and the Brain to pick up the victory. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Busta and the Brain to win. But this should be a really exciting match here. A really exciting match. And speaking of Hyo, he's actually booked for this year's Best of Super Juniors 33 tournament. So, he's going to be busy. But yeah, going for the Busta and the Brain to pick up the victory. All right, let's go to this next match. I'm actually looking forward to this match here. This should be really good. All right, we got a special singles match where we have Susumu Yokosuka taking on Marcus Mathers. Of course, Susumu's from Dragon Gate, a longtime veteran of Dragon Gate. And I remember Marcus Mathers, if I remember correctly, he went one-on-one, I believe, with KZ last year. He didn't get the victory, but still put up a great fight. You know what? I would not be mad if Marcus Mathers picked up the victory. I think it would be kind of cool to pick up a big win over a veteran like Susumu Yokosuka. I hope Marcus Mathers wins, but something tells me that Susumu is going to pick up the victory just because he's the veteran in this one. But we'll see. And then what I think might be the main event of this show. We got one more special singles match, and this one should be really, really good. We have Yamato going one-on-one with the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham. Whew. This should be really good. Big fan of both. Met Yamato last year. I actually met Yamato back in Philly as well. But this should be really good. A great clash of styles here. And, Yamato's a former Open the Dream Gate champion. But, yeah. This could really go either way. Shoot. Ooh, I like them both. I've met both. Oh, man, this is tough. This is tough. This is a really tough one. Shoot. I'll be pulling for Jonathan Gresham. I know he's been through a lot and whatnot. I'm going to be pulling for the Octopus to pick up the win. But I won't be surprised if Yamato ends up winning. But this should be a great match. Should be a really great match. But yeah, that's the card for Dragon Gate USA, the Gate of Sin City. Looking forward to the show. Like I said, Wednesday, April 15th at the Horseshoe. Looking forward to it. Always try to take advantage of when Dragon Gate comes to the U.S. Because, like I said, first Dragon Gate show I went to, was when they came to Burlington, North Carolina, 2016? No, it was even back before that. It was like 2013. I have to look back at it, but yeah, a long time ago, they did a show in Burlington, North Carolina. Opened the Southern Gate. Really, really great show. I was front row. Front row for that show was only like $70. Front row. It was very affordable. But yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Now, let's switch gears to some TJPW, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. So, I'm going to do my main preview of the Live in Las Vegas show in a bit, but I do want to talk about their Vancouver shows, which they have the finalized cards for both Vancouver shows. So, let me pull out the cards. Okay, so just to reiterate, TJPW Vancouver premiere. They're doing two shows on April 11th, Saturday, April 11th, and Sunday, April 12th. They will be at the Great Canadian Hastings Race Course and Casino in Vancouver, Canada. So, let's take a look at the cards for both days. So, this is the card for April 11th. This is the Saturday show. So, check this out. So, pretty interesting lineup here. So, no title matches on either show. They're not going to have title matches until the Vegas show. But this is what they have for the 11th. So, let's see. They got Suzume versus Alexia Nicole. Okay, one-on-one. Interesting match here. Miyu Yamashita teaming up with Himawari to take on the team of Liza Hall and Canada's own Nicole Matthews. So that's pretty cool. Nicole Matthews wrestling in a Tej ring. I think that's cool. You know, she's a former DPW Women's World Champion. We got the casual beauty Yuki Kamifuku going one-on-one with Shino Suzuki. Interesting. Sakura Hattori is going to compete in a tag team match. I think this might be her first tag team match since debuting as Sakura Hattori. So she's going to team up with Toga to take on Raku and Pam Harajuku. So we'll see if Sakura Hattori and Toga can, coexist as a formidable tag team. We'll see. This is an interesting matchup. Uta Takami versus Amira. Amira stepping foot in the TJPW ring. Okay. And then what I'm guessing is going to be the main event. Yuki Arai and Wakana Uehara will team up to take on Miyu Watanabe and J-Rod. That's kind of an interesting match there. That's a very interesting match. So, but yeah, you got 3 tag matches and 3 singles matches for the April 11th Vancouver show. Interesting. Okay, let's see how the Sunday, April 12th show looks. Let's take a look at that. Definitely different, but still maintains 3 singles matches and 3 tag matches. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's go to the bottom here. Okay, we got the Bumping Gritters teaming up. Himawari and Shino Suzuki taking on an interesting combination of Toga and Wakana Uehara. Yeah, very interesting combo there. This ought to be really good. A singles match between the Pink Striker Miyu Yamashita and Nicole Matthews. That should be really good. Shoot, that could end up being the main event. Shoot. Got a singles match, Miyu Watanabe versus Cherry Blossom. I'm not familiar with Cherry Blossom. So, that's neat. Big opportunity for Cherry Blossom taking on the second ever Grand Slam champion in TJPW history. Pam and Raku team up once again. This time they will take on the team of Liza Hall and Uta Takami. Interesting. We got a singles match between Kamiyu and Kristara. Not familiar with this Kristara. Never seen her before. And then what I assume is the main event, and this is kind of a weird one. Yuki Arai will team up with Suzume. So both the International Princess and Princess of Princess champions will team up to take on their challengers, J-Rod and Sakura Hattori. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense. It does kind of make sense because it's the challengers versus the champions. So yeah, I get it. But yeah, those are your 2 cards for the TJPW Vancouver premiere shows on April 11th and April 12th. Like I said, shout out to all of the Canadian wrestling fans that are going to be attending. I hope everybody has a blast. And like I said, this is TJPW's debut in Canada. So, hope everybody gets a chance to head on over to Vancouver for one or both shows. So, yeah, should be good. Should be good. And I'm guessing it's going to end up being live streamed, maybe on Wrestle Universe. I don't know. Maybe. But we shall see. Okay. And now, continuing on with TJPW, another Vegas show that I'll be attending is TJPW Live in Las Vegas 2026. That's right. This show will be taking place on Thursday, April 16th at the Pearl Theater as part of the Palms Casino and Resort. Of course, this year TJPW in Las Vegas, TJPW is part of the Palms Slam Fest. So, not part of the collective, but part of Slam Fest. So, different this time. But we got 6 matches, and we're going to have all 3 TJPW championships defended in Vegas. That's right, as promised by the company. So, let's go ahead and let's jump. This is my official preview for TJPW Live in Las Vegas 2026. Let's go. First match. Okay. Even though they're no longer the tag champions, Uber Eats will team up in Vegas once again as Yukikami Fuku, Wakana Uehara, Uber Eats will take on the team of Toga and Uta Takami. Now, even though I have deemed Uber Eats as a bust due to their ridiculous and unfortunate losing of the tag titles to the Inspiration, those Aussie air punchers. I do think they're gonna win this match. You know, it's they're the more established tag team over Toga and Uta Takami, so Ober Eats for the win. I mean, it's kind of an easy pick, but you know, from the sound of things, they're probably not going to be teaming up as much going forward, which, you know, it's understandable. I mean, when it comes to Kamiyu, I mean, this was her first tag title reign, and, you know, she's already been International Princess Champion before, so I think it's one of these things where Kamiyu's been there long enough. I think now is the time to really move her into the realm of challenging for the Princess of Princess Championship. Same thing with Wakana Uehara. I mean, she's won a Next Generation rookie tournament. She's already won her first championship with the tag titles. She's won the Max Hart tag tournament. So that's 2 tournaments Wakana has won in her career. So perhaps Wakana could eventually pursue after the International Princess title, or maybe eventually the Princess of Princess title. So, we'll see. But as far as this match, definitely going Ober Eats to win. I think they're going to pick up the victory. Let's see. Misfit says, talking about Raucous insane thinking Saki isn't retiring a thing. Japan doesn't really do fake retirement. When someone retires in Japan, they stay retired. That's not always true. That's not always true. Actually, that's not always true. Because technically, for example, technically Asuka did that. She retired and then came back. And as a matter of fact, even what's her face? When you really think about it, I mean, technically, Hazuki did the same thing. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. Hazuki did the same thing. She retired and then came back later. I mean, it might not be normal. It might not be common. But it's not out of the question. It's not completely out of the question for somebody to come back out of retirement. So, yeah, while it may seem unlikely, it's not impossible. You know, it's not impossible. Let's see. Especially if they have to retire, you know, due to, you know, health, you know, for the sake of health. Some of them end up coming back. Even if it's for a one-off. Or temporary. It's not impossible. Let's see. Raka says Chigusa did it. Oh yeah, actually yeah. Chigusa did it. Natsumi Shozuki did it. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. See, I didn't even think about that. Technically, Natsumi Shozuki did. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Because, that's right, because she had the spine injury. She retired because she had the, spine or cervical injury? And then she came back, joined Actress Girls. So, I mean, like I said, it's not impossible. It really depends on them. It depends on the wrestler. Misfit says, the thing is the fact that Saki has missed the most shows she's ever missed because of injury. She's basically forced to retire due to doctor's orders. I think she's done. But did the same thing not happen to Natsumi Shozuki? She had a cervical injury and was forced to retire. She ended up coming back. I mean, she probably is done. I'm just saying, it's not that insane for somebody to think that they might not be done or might come back later. That's not an insane opinion. Because it's very possible. It's happened multiple times. It might be rare. It might be very few occasions. But it has happened. And it's still very possible that it can happen even with some of the names that we've recently seen retire. That's all I'm saying. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Like, y'all know me. I don't think Himeka's done. I think Himeka's going to return at some point. It could happen. Maybe not. But I think Himeka's going to return at some point. But it's up to them. It's up to them. Okay. Let's go to the next match. Next match. This this is a really interesting one. This is Saki unfortunately has become injury prone, and I don't want her going somewhere else faking a retirement and then getting an injury that may take her out of for good. I don't want to see that happen for... Bro, it's not faking a retirement. That's not what it's about. None of those other people faked a retirement. It's just one of those things where somebody could at some point get that itch and come back. We see it happen all the time in sports, bro. It's not that much different from when it happens in sports. Look at Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. Like, it's up to them. Like, where's this idea of faking a retirement coming from? That's what's confusing me. Like, I mean, we've seen these type of scenarios happen so much. I don't really understand the whole idea of faking a retirement. Like, you know, it's just like Ric Flair retired in WWE, ended up going to TNA. I mean, it's one of those things where it's up to them. It's up to them. And it's like, I mean, what are we gonna do? She retires or whatnot, comes back later, and joins Marigold. Are we gonna look down on her for doing that? No. If anything, I bet you a lot of fans are gonna be like, "Oh my God, Saki Kashima's back! Hey, welcome back! Yes." I know I would. Heck, you just retired, and she competed in a battle royal at Pro Wrestling Eve not that long afterwards. I mean, I trust that they'll do what's best for them. But what they decide, that's on them. But I don't see it being a concept of if she retired and then ended up eventually going somewhere else. Because that's happened before. Might not be often, might not be common, but it's happened before. That's all I'll say. Alright, next match. 6-woman tag. We got the trio of Raku, Pam Harajuku, and Yuki Aino going up against the trio of, you got the Bumping Gritters and Himawari and Shino Suzuki and Alexis Lee. That's right, Alexis Lee setting foot in a Tej ring and will be coming from Singapore. It is Singapore, right? Singapore. To Vegas. Yeah. But yeah, Alexis Lee. Name I hadn't seen in a while. Good that she's making the trip. You know what? I'm going to go Bumping Gritters and Alexis Lee to pick up the victory. Ruca says, Arisa Nakajima did it in Sukeban. Yep, Commander Nakajima. That is a good point. But yeah, I'm going to say the Bumping Gritters and Alexis Lee pick up the victory. Although, I mean, Pam, Raku, they've teamed a lot. But yeah, I'm going to go Bumping Gritters, Alexis Lee. But that should be a very exciting match. Misfit says, Sukeban is a myth now because no one gets to see these shows anymore. I don't know if you heard, but they got a show coming up in May. They haven't revealed the details of where it's going to be, but they got a show coming up in May. As a matter of fact, Yukina Uehara is the newest member of the Cherry Bomb Girls. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. They got a show coming up in May. They'll probably reveal it maybe within the next week or so. Because they haven't revealed a date, but the show is in May. So, got a show coming up in May. That's all I know. Alright, let's go to the next match. I'm talking about people who don't go to Sukeban. Wait, what do you mean? I don't get the point. You may have to elaborate because I don't get it. This next match, if it wasn't for there being championships on the line, this would be main event worthy. We got a special three-way. We got Miyu Yamashita, the Pink Striker, versus the Popping Sugar Rabbit Mizuki, versus Miyu Watanabe, the Up Girls. Oh, you're talking about they never air these shows? I mean, they did a few of the previous ones. It was just on TikTok, which they didn't exactly choose a great platform to air said shows. So I'll give you that. And at one point they had a YouTube channel. They did have a YouTube channel because one of their shows was on their YouTube channel, but yeah, they don't exactly have a consistent platform for live streaming. I don't know if they'll change that or if they'll have that fixed for this show. But I mean, at the same time, it's not like they have these shows often. So I mean, it's one of those things. Live or tape. The second one was on Twitch. Yeah, I do remember. I didn't remember if the second or the third one was one that was on Twitch, but yes, one of them was on Twitch. They've used Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and I thought they used one other one, but yeah, I know they've used Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So, but never really a consistent platform. So, yeah, that's one of their weaknesses. Ricardo says Triple M match should be fun from TJPW. Yeah, like I said, if it wasn't for if this show having title matches, this right here would be the main event for sure. Now, who do I think wins this one? That's tough. That's really tough. I mean, Mizuki won the triple threat. That was in Dallas, so who knows? Maybe Mizuki will win this one in Vegas. That would be cool. That would be really cool. So, they were supposed to broadcast the one at Anime Expo, then promised to upload it and never did. Now, speaking with a friend that was there were apparently a lot of issues in general. Not just with the broadcast, but also like the letting folks in. How they ran, like with the venue and everything, like they had so many more problems like on top of that. So that was just an overall just a mess from what I was told. So yeah, that one was just an overall mess. But you know, so this will be the first show since that coming up next month. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say the Popping Sugar Rabbit Mizuki picks up the victory. Although either of these three ladies could win. Ricardo's going Yamashita for the win. Hey, not a bad pick. Either of those three ladies could win. Okay, so those are your three non-title matches. Now, let's get into some championship matches. Like I said, all three titles will be defended in Vegas. Let's go with title match number 1. A big opportunity for the recently debuting Sakura Hattori, as she will challenge Suzume for the International Princess Championship. Of course, Suzume, in her second reign as International Princess Champion, two-time champion, the second ever two-time champion after Maki Ito. Like I said, big opportunity for Sakura Hattori, who has yet to be pinned or submitted in a singles match. Whew. But could she pull off the big upset, the biggest upset of her career? I mean, not even she's been able to pull off this type of upset, even as Kaya Toribami. But I'm going to say that she ends up suffering her first singles loss, as Suzume retains the International Princess Championship. Should be a great match, though. Because, like I said, the Sakura Hattori, I love the gimmick. The gimmick is awesome. So, but I think Suzume retains. Misfit says, Teach should have a 6-woman multi-match announced. Everyone in the match then do qualifying matches for said match after they already announced the participants like WWE did on Raw. Well, I mean, like, are you talking about for this show in particular? Like, they should have done that for this show? Is that what you mean, or just like in general, like as far as like the next big thing to do or something? But yeah, going Suzume to retain. All right, let's go to the next match. One second. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Had to check a message. Oh, it was a joke. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Continuing. Alrighty. So we have the Princess Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champions, the Inspiration, Jessie McKay, Cassie Lee, will make their first defense against former champions, Kyoraku Kyome. This was the team that overeats the throne to win the titles in the first place. Kyoraku Kyome, that's Hyper Misao and the big kaiju Shoko Nakajima. Mr. says, making fun of how WWE announced the IC title ladder match for Mania. Ah, gotcha. I mean, this is kind of interesting that Kyoraku Kyome is the team that gets this title shot. And it's kind of ironic that this was the team overeats dethrone. And of course, you know, recently, unfortunately, the Inspiration dethrone overeats. To be honest with you, as much as I will be rooting for Kyoraku Kyome, I don't see them losing the titles on the first defense, so I hate to say it. But the Aussie Air Punchers retain. But I will be cheering like never before for Kyoraku Kyome to some way, somehow become the new champs. But, yeah. They're probably not going to win, though. This just says, I watched back the live reaction. Y'all did the Grand Princess show. You were fuming red hot over the Inspiration. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that team is trash. That team is trash. They were trash before, back in WWE and TNA. They're still trash now. So, but yeah. I could go into another full-on rant about that, but I'm going to reserve. Ricardo says every champ are retaining their titles, but I'm looking forward to the International Princess title match the most. Yeah, that should be a solid one. That should be a really solid one. But I will definitely say, whenever Suzume does lose the International Princess title, you best believe she's going to be inserted into the Princess of Princess title picture like that. Okay, main event. All right, this is for the Princess of Princess Championship. As the champion, Yuki Arai will make her first official defense against J-Rod. Now, J-Rod has had this opportunity before, back when Miyu Watanabe was champion, but she came up short. But she has another opportunity, but this time a different champion. Like I said, Yuki Arai, who just became the third ever Grand Slam champion in TJPW history. Returning to Vegas. Of course, she came to Vegas last year, which was her first time in the U.S. Definitely going Yuki Arai to retain, but J-Rod is definitely not going to make it easy for her. So, I definitely expect J-Rod to make this a tough main event, but I'm going Yuki Arai to retain. So, yeah, I agree with Ricardo. I don't think there will be any championships changing hands. But it's still good to see that at least we're getting all three titles, especially the new versions of the titles, defended in the Las Vegas show. So, really good to see. TJPW staying busy. Love to see it. But yeah, that's it for that. Let's see. Oh, so TJPW just posted something. Oh, this is interesting. So they just posted on the Twitter. The TJ, and this is translated, by the way. This is translated, Google Translate. The TJPW Texas tour was a huge success, or so we thought. But the journey home turned out to be an unexpected hardcore mode. Due to an airport staff strike, we couldn't board our flight home, so to make it in time for the Ryogoku event, we had to buy new tickets, endure an extreme 50-hour journey, and on top of that, our luggage got left behind in America. We eventually got everything back safely. Everyone made it home safely and we recovered our luggage too, but the cost of this trip was quite something. So we're selling charity t-shirts. We'd be thrilled if you could support us with a smile. Let me show this. Let me show this. So they're selling these shirts. Help us go home shirt. Because apparently situation happened during their travel back. And I mean, it's really unfortunate because there's, everything that's been going on with TSA and all that sort of jazz. So, but yeah. But that's a pretty neat looking shirt though. But yeah, so they had some difficulties getting back, but thankfully they made it back home. Everybody got their luggage, and man, that had to have been really rough. And that's crazy, especially thinking about, I'm gonna be traveling to Vegas in 2 weeks. So yeah, just everybody keep me in your prayers. That's all I ask. Misfit says, Yuna Manase lost the international title on her first defense, so I don't put anything past Tej. LL, it's not impossible. Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's rarity in that company, but it's not impossible with the tag. Yeah, you're right. That is true. Ito and Yamashita lost them on the first title defense. That is true. Ricardo says, who do you feel will be the fourth Grand Slam champion in TJPW history? To be honest with you, probably Suzume. I was thinking either Suzume. I'm thinking either Suzume, Yuki Kamifuku, I think one of those two. Because honestly, I don't see Miyu Yamashita ever going after that International Princess title, nor do I see Shoko Nakajima ever going after that International Princess title. So, I would say Suzume. Either Suzume or Yuki Kamifuku. I think I could see either one of those two becoming the next Grand Slam champion. But it's gonna be a long while before that happens. I think it's gonna be a long while. But I think it'll either be Suzume or Yuki Kamifuku. But yeah, we shall see. Let's see. Ricardo says I agree with those choices. And, it's tough too because, while it may be easy to say Miyu Yamashita or, Shoko Nakajima, like, I just can't see them going for the blue belt, especially considering Miyu Yamashita has won the Princess of Princess Championship 4 times. So, yeah. Side note, cage match was not kind to the Takeshita Sakazaki match. Honestly, I'm not surprised, but I think a big part of it, they really should have had better opponents. I mean, Super Sasadango Machine and Hyper Misao was not really a good choice of opponents to really test Takeshita and Sakazaki. So that's the issue that I had with it. But yeah, I'm not surprised that it got a bad rating. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So it's a couple of other things. So Tiger Mask 4 will have his retirement match at Korakuen Hall on July 7th. So July 7th, Tiger Mask 4 retirement match. So heads up there. Also, happy 3-year anniversary to Kazuna Tanaka as a pro wrestler. So happy anniversary to her. Ruca says should have been Poi and Shingo. That would have been perfect. That would have been perfect. If it was Poi and Shingo, that would have been a perfect choice. But I think with it being Super Sasadango Machine and Hyper Misao, there was way too much comedy in the match. Way too much comedy. To me, it went too long. Yeah. Natsupoi and Shingo were right there. Yeah, I agree. Ricardo says Max the Impaler is another one who could become a Grand Slam champion in TJPW were to win the Princess of Princess Championship. Yeah, Max is one away. That's a good point. That is a good point. Man, that would be interesting. Have an American Grand Slam champion in TJPW history. That would be very unique. That would be very unique. Yeah, that would be very unique. Let's see. Oh, also, I do plan on doing a preview. So I still got some more previews to eventually do. Sendai Girls 20th anniversary is coming up. It's coming up very soon. That'll be April the 12th. Definitely going to be previewing that once they get... I think they might have finalized the full card, but I'll check back. Another Vegas show I'll be attending. Pandemonium Pro Wrestling's Whatever Forever. Look forward to my next video stream with that. I'll be previewing that show because I'll be attending that show. Also, Marvelous has their 10th anniversary coming up. I believe May the 5th? May the 5th? So I definitely want to check that out. Probably keep an eye out for that once it becomes available on Zyco. That is, unless they decide they want to live stream it on Wrestle Universe. Yeah, May 5th. Yeah, I was right. May 5th. Let's see. Al says, I mean, you currently have the Inspiration as tag team champions. Imagine if any of them win the internet. No! 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 You better get that out of here right now. You better get that out of here right now, Al. No! 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 Misfit says, I do have to go back and watch Spark Rush versus Endo and Yamashita. I've heard nothing but good things. Oh, it was excellent. It was excellent. So, Free on Saturday should do a Joshi Cyber Squad, like a State of Joshi podcast we kind of been thinking about doing. That's gonna be tough because I'm actually gonna be out with friends that evening. I'll let you know, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough, but I'll let you know. But I kind of have plans, especially considering it is Easter weekend, so that's the only thing. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Revenge of the Fifth Day. Ruca says Jessica McKay International Print. No! What are you doing? Ruckus, what are you doing? No. Ruckus, Cassie Lee, Princess of Prince. No! Why? No. No Inspiration champions, singles and Tej. No. No. No way, man. No way, man. Y'all are wild. Y'all are being wild. This Good Friday's coming up and y'all are being wild. Shoot, every last one of y'all need Jesus. Let's see. Dang, I just lost my train of thought. What the heck, man? Let's see. Crap. Dang, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I'll figure it out later. But yeah, so got more previews to do eventually. Yeah. Dang, y'all got me sweating up in here. Goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for now. It'll get back to you, the train of thought. What do I feel like I'm missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. What the heck? Oh. Yeah. I remember now. So, still waiting for confirmation, but once I get confirmation, I'll reveal some very special news very soon. Well, actually, two pieces of special news. Two pieces of special news. They're pretty big. They're really big. One is big and one is ginormous. So, I'm just waiting for all the finalizations to be cleared up, and then I'll share my special news, my two big special news. Two for T for two. But yes. So, anyways, I'm tired. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Feel like we got kind of a full house tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming through, chatting it up with me. But yes, for those that are catching the archive, let me know your thoughts on the announced Saki Kashima retirement road. Let me know your thoughts on all that we previewed. Of course, we got Dragon Gate, TJPW, NXT Stand and Deliver. Yeah. So, yeah, we got a lot to cover even after this. But thank y'all so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, subscribe, share the stream, all of the above. And let's continue to enjoy what we have left of Saki Kashima's retirement road while we still can. Wait a minute, what are y'all talking about? Anyone taking IWGP junior title from Doki is going to be the winner of the Best Super Juniors tournament. Yeah, I could see that. Asuka versus Io set to be announced for WrestleMania next week. The sooner the better. Take care, everyone. Be safe. Happy Easter weekend. Thanks for the stream blitz. Thanks for fully supporting the notion of no Aussie Air Puncher singles champion. No. Think of Saki Kashima, not the inspiration. Think of Saki Kashima, not the Aussie Air Punchers, but two-time low-speed champion. Not the, you gotta be kidding me, Aussie Air Punchers. Think of Saki Kashima. That's why you can't see my face right now, because it's about Saki Kashima. That's why you can't see my face right now. Saki Kashima. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this up for probably like the next 10 seconds. Y'all say what you got to say. Y'all got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And I hope everybody has a blessed Easter, Resurrection Sunday, all of that. 5, 4, 3. Oh, Kashima just tweeted now. Oh, that's cool. 2, 1, 0. God bless.